Perfect afternoon for soccer on the Michigan State campus. Two teams unbeaten, superb 6-0 starts. Something has to give this afternoon as we meet the visitors from Madison, Wisconsin, and get a look at the starting 11 assembled by Paula Wilkins. No Cara Walls, missing a big scorer.
And Cara Walls is being replaced by number 14, Marissa Kresge. It's going to be important for her to connect with Cody Williams and Rose Lavelle, really providing an attack for the Wisconsin Badgers today.
Well, Michigan State, they are facing a solid Wisconsin team. A lot of people are picking Wisconsin to be the class of the conference, and a newcomer for the green and white up top, Jamie Cheslick, the freshman, doing a lot of good things.
Well, she's got pace. She's composed up front. She's already got 4 goals on the season. She's just a freshman, but she's playing well beyond her years. She's certainly off to a great college career.
Well, becoming more of a familiar face in the conference, 8th season for Paula Wilkins. Her team off to their best start since 2004. She says being overconfident is not a concern with this group. They're much more consistent this year than last year with their efforts game in, game in. And Tom Saxton, talk about an experienced guy at the helm of Michigan State, 24th year, and his side is also off to their best start since 2008. Doing a lot of good things in East Lansing, trying to maintain that this afternoon. This will be a superb test for both teams. And like a lot of soccer matches, Danielle, you think the midfield is going to decide a lot?
Well, you've got 4 in the midfield for Wisconsin and only 3 in the midfield for Michigan State, but you've got some dangerous players for Wisconsin. Rose Lavelle, number 3 for Wisconsin, and Kinley McNichol both have international experience at the under-20 level. Lavelle representing the United States, and McNichol being the Canadian captain in the Women's World Cup that was held just this past summer in Canada.
Yeah, great honors, and allows them to grow their game now back onto the collegiate stage. Talk about a stingy defense. This is going to be a challenging day for Michigan State if they're going to muster an offense, as Wisconsin's only allowed 1 goal over their first 6 games, leading a lot of impressive categories. They can score too, scoring 18 goals this year already.
They're certainly dangerous on both sides of the ball. Paula Wilkins has done a really fantastic job, not only being able to organize her team defensively, making sure that they don't give up many goals, but she's got some special players up top in attack, and they're really fun to watch.
So Marissa Kresge and Cody Williams stand over the ball for Wisconsin, the Road Reds. And away we go from East Lansing, Michigan. 2 teams with 6-0 starts. There's Rose Lavelle, the sophomore, and she had such an impressive freshman campaign. Lavelle wearing number 3 for Wisconsin. Williams lunging along the near touch. It's Cody Williams, number 22 for Wisconsin, the 5th-year senior. 2 goals on the season. Maybe expecting more from her today, a little more pressure with Cara Walls out with the ankle injury. It's an important cog there for Michigan State. Number 14, Nicole Caruso, but it's Wisconsin once again. McKenna Moyer with her first touch. Genevieve Richard. Just allowed 1 goal on the season between the sticks for Wisconsin. First threat going forward here for the Badgers. This is Williams. It's Kresge. Little support coming in. Kylie Schwartz, but recaptured by Michigan State, and Paige Wester, number 22. Very important player in the midfield for Michigan State.
When we talked to Coach Tom Saxton about Paige Wester, He said that she is fantastic in bringing a constant work rate. She makes great slashing runs. She hasn't always been healthy, so it's great to have her on the field. They're hoping she can stay healthy this season and have a great senior year.
She has that innate ability to bring down awkward passes very easily. Paige Wester can make other teammates look good and does a lot of those little things, as Danielle Slayton mentioned. It's the 9th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers on the road this afternoon. The road was a friendly place for Paula Wilkins' team last year, 6 road wins. Started off the 2013 campaign perfectly, winning their first 3 away from Madison in conference play. This is the opener.
And I know Wisconsin kind of wants to redeem themselves after last year. They had a talented side last year, but didn't quite finish off the season as they'd hoped. Finishing 6th in the conference and not quite being able to make an NCAA bid. Unfortunately, for them, they are certainly trying to get back at it today.
Richard leaves her line to greet that ball. It's a lot of that important talent for Wisconsin. Pretty young last year, but getting more experience now also on the international stage is Brianna Stelzer using Richard once again.
Wisconsin's got 5 seniors on their team, also 7 juniors, so they certainly do have that experience. And with that experience comes a little bit more expectations, but we've seen them off to a great start this season. They certainly seem to be making the most of it.
Cody Williams was dropping back very deep to support her back line. In the first couple of minutes of this match, it's been possession dominated by the Badgers. She covers a lot of ground. Cody Williams. 1v2, using her body there. And getting a little too rambunctious in pursuit there. She's got a good left foot, Cody Williams. Season numbers, 8 points total. Wisconsin, if they can get a win today, that would give them their first 7-0 start since 1991, when they were the NCAA national runner-up. Looking for a little room down the far side. Williams. Jessica Kellstrom got her hands wrapped around her.
And Cody Williams is off to a good start for the Badgers. She's been active, she's been around the ball, and I like how she's playing pretty close to Marissa Kresge. They're gonna look to combine today, so it's important that they don't get too stretched and play too far away from each other.
Always a challenge with a new partnership and a new conference season upon you, so the importance of the match a little bigger. That's something that Paula Wilkins, Wisconsin's head coach, was talking about. There's a little nervous energy now before these matches because there's a target on Rose Lavelle in the Badgers' back, with expectations is crafted in by Rose Lavelle. Little spare change dropped in front. Goal line clearance from Michigan State. As Courtney Clem wasn't there, but her back line was to keep it out.
We had the chance to talk with Coach Saxton, and he talked about Courtney Clem and how she's off to a great season. He not only credits her with the success and the real work that she's done to earn that spot, but he also gives a lot of credit to the backup goalkeeper, who's really pushed her and fought for her and
now the other way, it's Genevieve Richard. The second shot sailing wide, tense moments at either end. And here's the Wisconsin chance And for Michigan State, Mary Catherine Fiebernitz.
Well, a great service into the box by Rose Lavelle. Big save by Courtney Clem to get that first one, but she keeps her team in it. And on the other end, we see a quick transition to attack for Michigan State, and they're able to get an opportunity in front of goal.
Oh, look at the turn there from Rose Lavelle. The quick feet, that's why a lot of people get excited about her. Gives it a blast from distance.
Rose Lavelle is really something special. She's so technical. She creates opportunities for herself, but she also does a great job of making her teammates around her look better.
Do things slow down for you when you play at the big stage with the U20 Women's World Cup like Rose Lavelle, and now you come back to college play? Does it seem a little easier?
It seems like it does for her. I mean, she's so talented. It looks like she can do anything she wants with that ball.
So a quiet beginning to the game, but now two great chances exchanged by either side. Michigan State hunting for another. And they earn the first corner of this match. It's the young freshman, Jamie Cheslick, helping to earn this corner. Alexander Jonai will bring it in. Richard, you heard the communication calling for it, and she has it easily. She leads the conference in most important statistical categories, Genevieve Richard for goalkeepers. It's Kinley McNichol, number 13 for Wisconsin. She had both goals in the Badger victory last year in Madison against these Spartans. Well defended by Michigan State. The rangy McKenna Moyer able to find it in the midfield.
And let's take a look here at Michigan State because they're so dropped off defensively. They're playing a very low style pressure of defense. So everyone is very close to the goal, really trying to clog the passing channels that Wisconsin might have. It's going to be important for Wisconsin to move the ball quickly. Even when they have a lot of time, they've got to move it quickly because that's the way you're going to open up those channels.
Claim there by Courtney Clem. Can Wisconsin dictate that back line of Michigan State in their shape? Can they invite that pressure out?
Well, you can invite that pressure out, but even more importantly than that, when Michigan State does get the opportunity to go forward, that's the moment when you're going to have to transition to attack quickly and try to expose them before they can get organized.
Kinley McNichol, co-offensive player of the week. Those strong numbers for McNichol, expected. Had a strong season last year. Good defending by Alexander Heller, going down to the grass to make the play.
We see a great little entry pass, nice wide run by number 2 Krause. She does a good job to stay on sides. Heller recovers at the last second, out for a throw-in for Michigan State.
Michigan State starting to creep a little closer. Rising up, McKenna Moyer dealt with it first. But here's Paige Wester. Proving to be very elusive there as Becca Harrison in pursuit. And now it's intercepted. Wisconsin racing the other way. Cody Williams. Dragging defenders with her. It's Cody Williams looking to get that left foot off, and she does, but from a tight angle, and is handled by Courtney Clem.
Great effort by number 22 Williams. She picks that ball up in her own half, continues to run with pace. 2 defenders are hanging on her. She gets the shot off, but it's from a poor angle, so it's a little bit more difficult to finish. Courtney Clem easily saves that ball straight to her hands.
She's been the biggest worry going forward for the Badgers. Cody Williams is here's Michigan State once again. A lot of numbers around the ball for Wisconsin. Looking for that probing pass, Michigan State. Before Paige Wester can pick it up, it's McKenna Moyer. Not out of trouble. The command there from Genevieve Richard to take it. One of your keys was a lot of pressure around the ball for Wisconsin, and we've seen it here, especially in their defensive third.
Both teams are doing a pretty good job of being organized defensively. I feel a little bit like I'm watching an international game almost. Both teams are willing to drop off, get organized, invite play, and then as soon as they win it, they're going to transition and counter-attack onto offense as quickly as possible.
Rose Lavelle opens things up, finds Kinley McNichol, service into the penalty area. Immediately brushed out. Calming things down there, the sophomore, Rose Lavelle. Looking for some freedom. Lavelle into the penalty area. Not a lot of red shirts around her. Well done by Michigan State, beginning the transition. Just getting a piece of it was Alexander Heller. It's Krause in Michigan State. Here with a little over a half hour remaining in this opening half in East Lansing, Michigan.
And in the first 15 minutes, it seems like both teams have really tried to figure each other out. We'll see this transition here that Cody Williams takes advantage of. She makes the most of an unforced error, and look at her taking this 60 yards all the way to the half before she gets that shot on goal.
Great right arm by Cody Williams, too, to keep the defenders challenging her. Michigan State with the chance, takes a deflection off the woodwork as Caruso let it fly. So Nicole Caruso almost opens up the scoring off a little deflection, but catches the top of the woodwork.
Very unlucky if you are a Spartans fan. What a fantastic strike.
They move Caruso from the left side, now on the right side this year. Showing her versatility. Another look at the chance.
Well, Nicole Caruso has a stellar left foot, and we see it right here. Just deflects off of number 6, Brianna Stelzer, and look at that. Genevieve Richard is loving that crossbar right now.
And it was Brianna Stelzer who initially turned it over and caused that confusion, so good to see her help out in preventing a goal. And also the crossbars, Paige Wester, very clinical, sends it into a dangerous area. But there it's Brianna Stelzer helping out her keeper, Genevieve Richard, but still behind the ball with pressure, Michigan State, Paige Wester. And the Spartans now more spirit and life going forward. But it's McKenna Moyer settling down the attack. As we saw earlier in this match, Michigan State has to watch it in the midfield with the turnovers, as Cody Williams can feast on them in a hurry. As Wester just opens so much for the rest of her team. But there it's snuffed out by Kinley McNichol. Lavelle just steps on the ball. Cheslick, the freshman, a little bit of a break. Just missing Paige Wester in the penalty area. Wester, though, just getting better as this game moves along. Across the face of goal.
We talked to Coach Tom Saxton just yesterday, and I think it's interesting because he talked about one of the areas that they need to improve is really continuing to let runs develop, be patient, continue to work together. But to me, it looks like they're doing a great job. The combination play has been good. The runs off the ball have been excellent. I've been really pleased. I think they're doing a pretty darn good job, even in areas where Coach Tom Saxton feels they need to continue to improve.
Yeah, the word he was using is anxious, and they certainly haven't looked too anxious so far.
They've looked confident. They're working well together, and good things are coming of it. They've created chance and chance again.
If you could call a timeout in this sport, Paula Wilkins might have taken one in the last couple of minutes, but now Wisconsin trying to recapture that good start. And that will help the cause. Cody Williams and the Badgers at corner here with 27.5 minutes to go in this opening half. Pretty even so far. Both sides have had good chances. Lifted in by Lavelle. First time McNichol punches it onto the roof of the goal. Not a bad idea. Well, Big Ten soccer fans, make sure to check out the BTN Soccer Report, our weekly web show hosted by Kevin Egan on BTN.com. Previews, interviews, and breakdowns of the conference's beautiful game. You can also follow on Twitter at BTN Soccer Report. First ever Northwestern Wildcat to play in Major League Soccer for the Chicago Fire. A guest of Mr. Egan's this week. Always a great show to get caught up on what's going on in the beautiful game around Big Ten country. There's Williams. And a peel away from Kellstrom, who had a watchful eye on her.
And she's certainly been the target for the Badgers up top. She's doing a great job of looking to check to the ball to try to get it to her feet, and she's had some success turning, getting faced up, and running at the defenders in the back line for Michigan State.
Advantage play to Wisconsin, Rose Lavelle. Here's Harrison on the dribble. A wasted pass, easily gobbled up by Michigan State.
Michigan State is so compact defensively. Wisconsin might have a little bit more success trying to use the width a bit more.
McNichol checking her options. There they use the width a little bit more. Stretching Michigan State. It's been their most dangerous player so far, Cody Williams. McNichol into the penalty area. And Wisconsin, the opening strike, roofed by Becca Harrison.
Great finish by number 21, freshman Becca Harrison. But I gotta tell you, a lot of this work was done by Cody Williams and Rose Lavelle. We see Wisconsin using the width well and getting a little combination all the way down here close to the end line. McNichol does a great job of putting the ball where only Harrison can finish it, gets her head up. That's a great ball because it's all the way on the ground, so easy to finish on target.
That's why my partner, Danielle Slayton, used to coach at Northwestern back in the day. Told Wisconsin to use their width. Cody Williams immediately did so. Next thing you know, the freshman, upper 90, has her first goal. Here's Paige Wester trying to answer back. Dangerous pass. As Richard left that goal exposed, but it's Wisconsin settling things down. So Becca Harrison, the freshman, the opening goal for Wisconsin. You're looking for more with just over 24 minutes remaining in the opening half. Good little turn. There's Harrison just feeling that confidence after scoring the goal. Rose Lavelle saw too many white shirts in front. Spreads to Kresge. Lavelle denied. And here's Paige Wester. Long, searching ball over the top. Nicely done by Genevieve Richard to greet it first. Badgers' numbers perfect when scoring first, like their record, 6-0 this year.
Well, Wisconsin gets up early, but look at the response of Michigan State. Paige Wester, she gets in behind the defense and plays a great ball, slashing right across that 6-yard line, but there's no Spartan there to put it away.
As Allison Krause was lurking on the doorstep for Michigan State. That's the word on Paige Wester. That's not her job to score goals. She's the great playmaker. They're almost finding her teammates, but it's Wisconsin on the counter. Nursing this 1-0 lead. A goal from Becca Harrison.
We see another corner kick here for Wisconsin, and I really liked their rhythm. Coach Paula Wilkins has got to be pleased with the way they're moving the ball. It's a 2-3 touch rhythm, and even when they have time, they're continuing to move the ball, trying to stretch and open up the defense of Michigan State.
No rush, good off-ball movement, giving their teammates targets. Fifth-year senior, the intense Courtney Clem, watches Rose Lavelle, brings it in from the corner, lunged at by Clem, gets a piece of it, follow-through shot, doesn't get through that back line. Michigan State evading danger, and it's brushed out by the freshman Cheslick.
Well, look at the fight here inside the 6-yard box. Courtney Clem doesn't get a touch on it, and lucky for Michigan State, Wisconsin cannot take advantage.
Williams combining on the outside. Harrison just jabbed off her boot, but the Badgers stay behind the ball. There's that rhythm that Danielle Slayton's talking about, the build-up and the patient attack from Wisconsin.
And take a look at Michigan State. Number 15, Cheslick, that's their center forward. Look at how deep she's playing. It is so difficult to break a defense down when you've got 11 players that are just within 50 yards of the ball. Wisconsin's doing a good job. They've got to continue to move that ball quickly.
So now roaming on the right. We saw her on the left earlier, creating a lot of problems, Cody Williams. But Becca Harrison, number 21 for Wisconsin, wearing red this afternoon, on the road has been the story with her first goal of the season in the 20th minute. Dealt with by Heller. Rose Lavelle was hurried, but makes the right decision. And a little sloppy passing allows Michigan State to pick it up. Jonai, the little feint, finds her favorite target, Paige Wester. Nicely anticipated initially by Kinley McNichol, but it's Michigan State looking for that equalizer. Off the foot of Heller. Another opportunity upcoming for State.
Keep an eye on number 7, Mary Catherine Fiebernet. She's a center back for Michigan State, but she comes forward and she's very dangerous on set pieces, particularly in the air. She's
got 3 goals. We saw her defensive prowess. earlier in this match. Low service from the corner, little hesitation by Richard, but dealt out. It's Cody Williams unable to track it down. It's the always energetic Paige Wester. Switching fields here with under 19 minutes to go. Michigan State, they've had their chances. Still searching for the first goal of the game.
Coach Paula Wilkins, she said that the front three of Michigan State are some of the most athletic and quick attackers that Wisconsin has faced all season.
It's always tough to judge, no matter what sport, no matter what gender. Non-conference play. Now the real matches begin.
And conference play starts a little bit earlier. We've got the addition of both Rutgers and Maryland to the Big Ten. So there's 2 additional conference games on the schedule this year for all teams.
Cheslick. McNichol sensing that pass coming across, able to knock it away for Wisconsin, but Michigan State. There's Cody Williams doing things well defensively for her side.
I love forwards who are willing to defend. So often we talk about the attack and the importance of scoring goals, but I gotta tell you, when it comes to having a great defense and only giving up a few goals on the season, it really often starts with the forwards and their willingness to work defensively.
Especially when it's been your most dangerous player this afternoon and one of your most dangerous players all season. That message tends to spread throughout the rest of the team. Jonai's pass found by Brianna Stelzer. Foul there on Michigan State. Jessica Kellstrom coming in there hard. The creative Kinley McNichol. She draws the call.
We see the 2 internationals right here, Kinley McNichol and also Rose Lavelle, who are standing over the ball and looking to combine. Both of them are just so talented. McNichol being a captain of the Canadian women's under-20 national team.
Just breezing by there, it was Kresge.
Very mature players.
Subs coming in for Wisconsin. Nikki Greenhall. The redshirt junior, Lisa Vogel, number 4. Onto the field. Kresge gets a breath. She was the replacement for Cara Walls. If you're just joining us, Walls, one of the more dangerous presences going forward for Wisconsin, out of the lineup with an injury. Cody Williams has come close. The only goal from their freshman Becca Harrison has given the Badgers this 1-0 lead. Heard you use the term yesterday in that tremendous telecast from Lincoln, Nebraska. 10-minute tactics. We're starting to approach the final 10 minutes, and you talk about those tactics, the final 10 of a match or a half. What are either side thinking right now as that approaches?
As you approach just 10 minutes left in the first half, it's really important to be able to just kind of regroup, focus, make sure that you're taking care of all the small details. So many goals get given up right before the end of a half. It's important to make sure you're communicating and always on the same page.
Megan Marasek down on the grass. Another look at the tackle.
Well, it looks as though they're both going for the ball, and Unfortunately, this is the game of soccer. It looks like she just got nicked. Two competitors trying to win that ball.
Kylie Schwartz coming in there for Wisconsin. Nothing ferocious, just an awkward collision. This is a Wisconsin team. They were known as a pretty rugged side last year. Just one yellow card. Last year they had a league high 15. Paula Wilkins' team playing much more disciplined and enjoying this 1-0 lead with 15 minutes to go in the opening half. Well, can't miss a triple header of Big Ten football Saturday. First, Maryland squares off with West Virginia. Then Devin Gardner and the Wolverines welcome Miami University to the Big House, and in prime time, rivals meet for the first time in Big Ten. Christian Hackenberg leads Penn State against Rutgers tomorrow on BTN. BTN to go. Best time of the year. Little soccer on Fridays and Saturdays, and American football in between. Is a pretty rugged match so far as Megan Marsack helped off. Now coming back into the midfield to replace her, Kirsten Evans.
And we had a little break right here. It's unintentional, but these are the moments when coaches can really kind of get a free timeout that you don't normally get in soccer. And both teams, both coaches are going to take the moment to say, hey, Wisconsin, we're up. What do we do in this last 15 minutes? How can we continue to move the ball and really make sure we're taking care of the keys to the game? But more importantly, if you're Tom Saxton, you're telling your team, this is how we need to get back into the game, and really trying to inspire them and say, hey, we might be down 1-0, but I believe in you guys because you certainly have been having some opportunities thus far.
But if you're Wisconsin and you could sneak another one in here late on the road, would dash a lot of those Spartans' hopes during the first break here. A little over 14 minutes away from that right now. The composure, the sophomore Rose Lavelle, but they're figured out by Michigan State. But only a brief possession. It's Kinley McNichol. Guides that pass well. Cody Williams takes a peek, trying to make the turn. And again, Williams using her body well in contact there.
I like Cody Williams' decision to hold on to the ball. She creates this set piece for her team, but if she had just taken a touch and served it into the middle without any teammate being there, Courtney Clem probably could have quickly and easily scooped up that ball. Now they have a very dangerous set piece in a dangerous position on the field.
A dangerous player behind the ball. Lifted in by Lavelle towards the back post. A little aggressive there. Alexander Heller called on the foul for Wisconsin as timer was felled. What are your keys for Michigan State? You'd like them to counter quickly.
I think they're doing a pretty good job at it. They've had some opportunities, and even immediately after Wisconsin scored, they were right back at it, transitioning quickly to attack. I think they just got to continue to stick with it. They're not doing a bad job of it. They've just given up a goal, that's all.
And they've had their chances. They just haven't found a solution.
One off the crossbar, Paige Wester cross that nobody's able to run onto. Stick with it. I mean, I like the chances they've had.
The problem is, more chances are going to come from Wisconsin. Even without Cara Walls, they proved to be a dangerous team going forward this afternoon. So Rachel Van Poppelen onto the field for Michigan State. It's a little break for the freshman, Jamie Cheslick. Goal kick for Genevieve Richard in Wisconsin. Michigan State's head coach, Tom Saxton, he's been in the conference for well over 20 years, so he knows what he's talking about. But say no disrespect to Penn State. This Wisconsin team is the most dangerous team in the conference. Is that a little bit of a surprise for you, Danielle, to hear that?
They're a talented team, so it's not entirely a surprise. I think they just underperformed a little bit, quite frankly, last year. So when you see them hitting their stride and doing their thing right now, I'm not surprised. Now, Penn State, they're ranked 8 in the country. Michigan State is ranked 9. So both teams are very competitive and very talented. I got to say, though, right now, I agree with Tom Saxton. This side is maybe one of the best I've seen in Wisconsin history, and they are a very, very talented team in this conference.
We mentioned Wisconsin looking to get off to their first 7-0 start since 1991. If this scoreline holds, they will do it. But a lot of soccer left to be played. To Martin Stadium, East Lansing, Michigan, the Spartans in white. Here's Rose Lavelle. Just a little bump there on Williams, enough to jar it loose, and it allows Michigan State to possess. Good range by McNichol to bring that ball down, and then she gets support from Rose Lavelle. Patient attack, they wait for things to open up, and they find Cody Williams. Williams, the tester, off of Kellstrom. Another corner for Wisconsin.
Perfect example of how possession can lead to a dangerous opportunity. Wisconsin keeps the ball, makes 3, 4, 5 passes. They spring Cody Williams, earn a corner kick.
McKenna Moyer had that ball deep in her half of the field and didn't force the pass forward. Cautiously brought it back. They combined a little bit, and then the next thing you know, they open things up for Cody Williams. And you have a corner here from Rose Lavelle with 9 minutes to go in the opening half. Left footing it in. Sailing by everyone over the goal. With the only goal of the game amongst a lot of good chances in this match, 20th minute. Doing the work on the outside, Cody Williams.
Good combination play by Wisconsin, composed in the attack, and then Kinley McNichol gets her heads up, finds number 21, Becca Harrison, for a very easy finish just from about 12 yards out.
Becca Harrison, welcome to the Big Ten Conference. Finish to the upper 90. The 9th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers leading here 1-0. Good aggressive step up there by the experienced junior, Alexander Jonai. The fresh legs off the bench, Lisa Vogel.
Let's take a look at this tackle. Jonai just gets stuck in. Look at them both grabbing onto each other. Referee lets it play on.
Oh, almost a rare turnover. No, it is a turnover by Lavelle. And a free kick earned here with under 8 minutes to go.
And this is a dangerous set piece in a dangerous position. We see number 20, Kirsten Evans. She's going here to take a swing at it, and she just gets clipped from behind. Absolutely a foul. Dangerous attacking set piece for Michigan State.
Evans earned it. Vogel's going to give it a hit. Not bad. Not bad at all.
We see Vogel just trying to bend that ball with her right foot up and over the ball. And let's see if she touched her. Actually, it looks like she kicked the ground. And then in response to that set piece, just over the crossbar. Good look by Lisa Vogel, just needs to get it down a hair more.
But seeing the foot there of Lisa Vogel, you don't want to keep giving Michigan State chances from dangerous areas. McNichol evading midfielders. It's Rose Lavelle. Stelzer. Michigan State winning some of those 50-50 balls now. It's Moyer. Deals with Rachel Van Poplin. Again, dangerous down the right side. It's Cody Williams. There to challenge her, one of the best Spartans, Mary Catherine Fiebernitz.
And again, we see Cody Williams attacking up that right flank. And I like how she gets all the way to the end line, because even if she can't get it across, she earns her team a corner kick like we see here.
Fourth corner of the afternoon for Rose Lavelle. She keeps dropping it back post there. Off of McNichol and out.
With just 5 minutes left in this half, I'm kind of thinking like the coaches, right? What am I going to tell my teams at halftime? And quite frankly, I think both teams have really been doing a pretty good job of sticking to the game plan. Wisconsin's just been able to execute a little bit more efficiently and getting the 1-goal lead.
You can see why this Wisconsin team exposed a quality team like Portland earlier this year. They're an organized group.
Portland has such a great culture of soccer at that university. I played at Santa Clara. Portland was also in the West Coast Conference, and I gotta say, going up to Portland and playing in Portland and playing against a Portland side is a tough order and a tall task.
Yeah, Danielle Slayton, you played at Santa Clara and brought home a national championship too. It's great to have you with us this afternoon, though. Big Ten play underway. Paige Wester showing her sense there, dragging defenders with her. Wester, Lisa Vogel taking a lash at it. Never really a threat to Richard. We look at that last Wisconsin corner kick and a little action in front of the goal. Courtney Clem there against Cody Williams.
Well, if you're a goalkeeper, you've got to be strong and own your box. Now, I'm not saying that she should be pushing the back of Cody Williams, but I like the aggressiveness, the mentality of Courtney Clem to say, hey, get out of here. This is my area. You're not going to own this.
Her coach, Tom Saxton, calls goalkeeping the most important position in women's soccer. Final 3 minutes of the opening half. Becca Harrison has the lone goal, the freshman for Wisconsin. And Rose Lavelle trying to earn another corner, but it's going to be a goal kick for the fifth-year senior, Courtney Clem. Patient Kinley McNichol waits for Lavelle to open up. Williams makes herself a target. Just couldn't hold it. Richard sees enough of that.
Well read by Richard to come off of her line. because Michigan State is so dangerous, she's going to have to play a little bit higher and make sure she can get anything that gets dropped in behind, really condensing that space behind her backs.
Well, and she does it again, and that's been a theme this half. Genevieve Richard commanding that box and leaving the line for the most part at the right time. As Michigan State still coming, Jonai serves it in. Sliding in to greet it first is Richard. Minuscule season numbers for Richard.
I think that statistic also always says something about the back line. Maybe I feel that way because I was a defender, but you got to give it up to those two central defenders, Heller and Stelzer, both strong, both physical, and both really probably limiting the opportunities that Richard has to face.
And we saw Mary Catherine Fiebernitz at the other end come to the aid of her keeper right on the goal line. They might need some solid defending here in the dying seconds of the opening half. Fifth corner for Rose Lavelle in Wisconsin. There's Williams in front of her favorite keeper this afternoon, Courtney Clem. Just trying to get in the way. Clem punching it out, helped by Vogel. 25 seconds to go, still Wisconsin dangerous. Sending the one hopper in was Molly Laufenberg. The battle down to the final few seconds. Paige Wester earning this free kick. The opening half will close out quietly. Obviously, Wisconsin more happy with the scoreline and the 1-0 advantage, but both coaches must be satisfied with the way their teams play. Would you agree?
I totally agree. Very good rhythm and speed of play by Wisconsin. Excellent execution on the goal by 21, Becca Harrison. And Michigan State, even though they haven't been able to execute and finish the opportunities, they've had some good counterattacking chances.
Yeah, the big question this afternoon, no Cara Walls for Wisconsin. Who's going to score the goals? Well, the freshman, Becca Harrison, with the little help, has done it so far as Wisconsin leads 1-0 after the first 45 minutes from East Lansing, Michigan. What a time of the year to be on the Michigan State campus. Even if you're stranded on the river. Wisconsin, the visitors this afternoon, 9th ranked, leading Michigan State 1-0 after the first half of play. Look at the crucial numbers. A lot of corners and shots generated by Paula Wilkins' team.
Well, Wisconsin has certainly kind of dominated every statistical category here. But for me, what stands out is the shots on goal. They're getting them on target. They're putting Courtney Clem under pressure.
Yeah, Courtney Clem was the busier of the two keepers in the first 45 minutes. White shirts for Michigan State. They possess here to begin the second half. So it wasn't like Michigan State was dominated in the opening half. A lot of chances. Now they just try to seek pay dirt. Alexander Jonai playing that left back position.
We see Michigan State having possession, and it's the defenders who have possession because Wisconsin has dropped off quite a bit. And this is the evolution of the women's game. Defenders, you can't just defend. You have to be able to set play and create opportunities going forward. That's the expectation of younger players coming in who want to play in the Big Ten Conference. You've got to be able to defend, but you also have to be able to make smart decisions and attack.
Wester uses her body so well to shield and get possession. Watching Paige Wester this season, she's had a career that's been frustrated at times with injuries, so tough to get consistency, but she rarely makes a mistake, number 22 in white.
She's so helpful for her team in so many different aspects. She constantly is setting people up for success.
Caruso, the through ball, but well timed again by Genevieve Richard.
It's going to be important for Richard to continue to read those balls that are played in behind her defense. That's a dangerous area, particularly for a counterattacking team like Michigan State with such athletic forwards up top.
There's Lavelle. She knew what she was going to do with that ball before it came to her, but looked like Michigan State had an idea too, as it's taken away by Kirsten Evans. In terms of authority with the back line and the goalkeeper, I guess the goalkeeper always has the loudest voice.
The goalkeeper has the loudest voice, but also too because the goalkeeper can see more. She's got a little bit of a better perspective and can see every single player in front of her. When you're a central defender, when you're a left or right back, you are always listening for your goalkeeper, and you're hoping that she's communicating really important messages and you can trust in her. It's so important to have a great chemistry between a back line and a goalkeeper.
Jonai's long pass. It's Makeda Moyer turning forward along with Becca Harrison, the goal scorer. She gets beat. Michigan State failing to make the connection, but they had the opportunity earlier.
Well, and that ball all the way across comes from Paige Wester. And look at this, right back. Caruso getting forward, looking for that opportunity. Genevieve Richard does well to read that ball in behind and is easily able to smother it.
Yeah, it was Caruso with that final pass that almost created the danger. Laufenberg. Her pass intercepted by Nicole Caruso. Evans keeps the attack going forward for Michigan State. As Cheslick, the freshman. Haven't heard her name in a while, number 15. Allison Krause deals with the heat and draws the call.
Good call by the referee and great composure by number 2, Allison Krause. She's got one player hanging off her, but she fights to continue to keep possession of the ball. And eventually, once that second player comes in, the referee makes the right decision.
Krause had the game-winning goal in the double overtime win versus Western Michigan. And guided there towards Genevieve Richard, but the keeper was positioned perfectly. With the opportunity, it was Kirsten Evans. Lavelle dragging a few Spartans with her.
Good service into the box by number 14, Caruso. She puts it perfectly, so Genevieve Richard cannot come off her line and win that initial ball. Good composure by the goalkeeper to react. It goes straight to her. It's an easy save, but excellent job by Evans to get her head onto it.
By mistake, it was the freshman Jamie Cheslick who was able to maneuver her way and get ahead on that ball. Cheslick, 4 goals on the season. Nicole Caruso. When Michigan has had a threat going forward, a lot of times it started from the back off of her boot. They keep it on the grass and they find Cody Williams. Kresge. 1v2 and helps earn a deep throw in. Marissa Kresge, big opportunity and big responsibility this afternoon. No Cara Walls for Wisconsin, but still proving to be a very dangerous team this afternoon. Kresge denied. Finally, cleaned up by Jonai. Williams, a little too overzealous going forward there on Alexander Jonai.
Good defending by Jonai, and good decision to put her body in between Cody Williams and the ball. The only thing Williams could do was foul her. She earns a free kick for her team.
Kresge. The Badgers setting up their attack. It's oftentimes the orchestrator, Kinley McNichol. Moyer for Williams. Lavelle got a foot on it, but that's about it. Michigan State. Cheslick, their dangerous freshman, trying to settle, looks for help. Put read nicely by Wisconsin.
And this is exactly what Michigan State wants to do. Wisconsin had the ball, they were possessing. Immediately it gets turned over and they're getting their head up looking for Cheslick to get in behind. That is a perfect example of a counterattacking situation. McKenna
Moyer and Brianna Stelzer have done a good job lockdown defending for Wisconsin. Now it's Caruso making the spirited run off of McNichol. Corner upcoming for Michigan State.
And Caruso seems to be getting more and more involved up that right flank. She's the outside back, so a defender, but creating opportunities in attack for the Spartans.
Have the post covered. Richard is ready and using that long reach over the head of Mary Catherine Fiebernitz to grab that. Think about size being so crucial for goalkeepers in your shot blocking ability, but also to handle corners like that and quiet things down quickly.
Kind of like when they talk about the reach of basketball players. I mean, she certainly was able to get every inch of not only her height, but her arm length as well.
Paige Wester whistled for the foul. So Wisconsin doubling up Michigan State this afternoon. And leading 1-0 on the goal from Becca Harrison in the opening half. So we haven't noticed Cody Williams as much here in the second half, getting touches and opportunities. Trying to change that, peeling away. Kresge ponders her options. Keeps it on the grass for McNichol. There's Williams, but couldn't get possession, but Wisconsin still winning the ball. That quick ball movement allows them to keep it. Good possession by Wisconsin.
Good ball movement. They're certainly having the ball do the work. They've got to be careful about not making any square passes like that, though, because they're so easily picked off.
Advantage Michigan State. Evans starts it. But quickly quieting down that rush was Rose Lavelle in the midfield, and it's Wisconsin on the attack again. Stelzer takes the initiative. So they were searching there for Marissa Kresge.
And Wisconsin has continued to have a fair percentage of the possession during this game. I think we kind of expected it because Michigan State is known for being a counter-attacking team. It's important that they continue their movement, though. It's easy to get lulled to sleep when you've got a team that constantly drops off.
Well, Big Ten soccer fans, make sure to check out the BTN Soccer Report, our weekly web show hosted by Kevin Egan on BTN.com. Previews, interviews, and breakdowns of the conference's beautiful game. You can also follow on Twitter at BTN Soccer Report. Rose Lavelle's turn from the corner. 6th time this afternoon. Contact called in the penalty area. It was Kresge.
Well, we saw it in the first half, and we continue to see the battle in the box on corners. Courtney Clem is just trying to own that 6-yard area. She's got to run through a bunch of her defenders and Wisconsin Badgers to do so. She gets fouled in the process.
Looking to spring free, little one touch, and we are level. Allison Krause in Michigan State.
Well, we've talked about Michigan State's ability to counterattack, and after a corner kick, look at the transition to offense. Great finish by number 15, Cheslick. She does a good job of getting in behind. Look at that composure. Genevieve Richard is cut off of her line, over the top, 1-1.
Big goal for the freshman, Jamie Cheslick, 57th minute. My, this game turns in a hurry.
That's what a counterattacking team does. You know, we've been talking about Wisconsin having so much of the possession, doing a good job of holding, and then in just a split second, 2 passes, tie game.
They lull you right to sleep, and then they pounce, and here we are, all level at 1 with a little over a half hour to go in this match. So we'll see how Wisconsin responds. That's just the 2nd goal they've allowed all season. Team leading 5th goal of the season for Jamie Cheslick.
I'm so impressed with that finish. I mean, she's just a freshman, and she was so composed. She looked like she was a 5th-year senior right there, running onto the ball, defenders hanging on her, goalkeeper coming out. Very impressive, composed finish.
Rose Lavelle, but the arm area there of Kinley McNichol. Either way, she couldn't bring it down. Another look at the goal started by Alexander Jonai.
Great ball over the box, and look, first touch, head up, composed over the outstretched arms of Genevieve Richard.
Back onto the field, Lisa Vogel. We saw her with that dangerous free kick opportunity in the opening half. It's going to be Kinley McNichol off the corner. Clem helps it out, and her defenders doing the rest. Cheslick, a little energy after scoring that goal, and why shouldn't she be energetic? The freshman has now picked up points in 6 of her 7 collegiate games. Jonai gets spun around a little bit.
This is a good test for Wisconsin. They've had so much success early on in the season, but let me tell you, it's a long conference season. So this is a great moment where they can learn from giving up a goal and how to respond in critical moments.
Williams, Lavelle gets a foot on it. Clem in the back line doing their job. And they're almost a little too much off the foot of Krause, but Clem is able to handle it. Why has Cody Williams not been as much of a threat here in the second half?
I just think her movement needs to continue to be sparked a little bit more. Let's take a look at this shot by Wisconsin. First, it comes off a fantastic throw. Cody Williams does do a good job in moving and getting to that ball. Courtney Clem comes up big, and that's a dangerous opportunity. It doesn't seem like it's going to be dangerous because it's a throw-in, but look at how far it can come.
Would have been a gorgeous goal if Rose Lavelle could have found the net. Well, Courtney Clem, she won the job from Gabby Gruder. It was a neck-and-neck race, but the advantage, and we've seen it this afternoon, very good in the air, Courtney Clem.
And I think that's part of the reason why she's having such a great year. She had to earn that spot. And sometimes that pressure and that adversity can really build a player's confidence when they do indeed earn their position.
The focused eyes of Kylie Schwarz. The freshman and the goal scorer for Michigan State, Cheslick. Evans will lay it off for Sarah Kovan.
We haven't talked too much about Sarah Kovan, but I think it's because a big role that she has today is really trying to limit Rose Lavelle. And Coach Saxton talked about how she's got a ton of heart. She clogs the midfield, and that's a big role and an unsung role often in that defensive central position.
She's done a pretty good job too, hasn't she? Because you can't help but make Rose Lavelle noticeable, but
and I think that's the next evolution for Rose Lavelle. She's a sophomore, so we all know who she is now. So she's got to continue to shape and really change her game, knowing that teams are going to continue to mark her.
Here's Allison Kraus. Was thinking Cheslick over to her right, but Molly Laufenberg, the Wisconsin Badgers, providing the intervention. Right back on the ball, though, Michigan State led by Jessica Kellstrom. Claiming ownership there, Powers in Wisconsin. It's that time of the game you can see, even the touches away from the goal, looking over the shoulder, making sure no one's lurking. You don't want to make that silly mistake. Such an important game. Both teams with unblemished records, perfect 6-0 starts.
And this is my favorite time of the match as we start to get into the second part of the second half, because this is where you see things really start to open up. You see which players can dig a little deeper. You see which players are really going to put the team on their back and make a difference.
When we look at the goals beginning in the 20th minute, finished off by the freshman.
Fantastic finish by Becca Harrison, and even better, a great finish, or a cross. And look at this on the other side of the ball. Such composure by both Harrison and Cheslick to get their teams level at 1.
So it's a day of the freshmen. Cheslick, you might expect more, but Harrison, the finisher for Wisconsin. Cody Williams thwarted there in the midfield, but the engine still keeps going forward for Wisconsin. Rose Lavelle was sniffing around for it. It's Alexander Jonai, her soft touch helped create that Michigan State goal. Caruso on for Vogel. Cheslick, a little room to roam and time to dish a cross in. McNichol had a chance to gain possession. Flag coming up here, just over 24 minutes left in this match.
And Cheslick makes that great initial run all the way to the end line, but can't quite get back on sides quick enough, and that's why we've got that set piece call right there.
Moyer switching fields for Wisconsin. The thought there was to go over the top for Cody Williams, but Michigan State, Lisa Vogel on the counter. Just trying to get the timing down. So again, it was Cheslick.
And that's the wide space that I'd like to see Wisconsin continue to use, both on the right and on the left. Michigan State's playing with 3 central midfielders, so there's really a good area out wide where they can have a little space to play.
Tom Saxton, the boss of Michigan State, watching on, enjoying the second half, probably a lot more than he did the opening half when his team got down 1-0 on the goal from Becca Harrison. Equalizer from Cheslick here in the second, but Wisconsin using that width. Cross coming, and you can hear the communication there. It was Courtney's ball all the way, talking about the 5th-year senior Courtney Clem. Strong outside backs, Jonai and Caruso for both Michigan State. They factored into this match this afternoon.
For the Spartans, number 22.
Little confusion there. Paige Wester back onto the pitch. She had a good first half. Here will replace Lisa Vogel.
You've got to give credit to Michigan State for their resiliency and their willingness to keep fighting. Coach Saxton talked about that being one of the reasons he thinks they've had so much success so far this year. Great goalkeeping, good team defending, but more than that, a real resilience and a heart in this Spartan side.
They've shown it this afternoon in front of their home fans. First conference clash of the season, and they didn't get rattled. Rose Lavelle. Good work, but Kirsten Evans able to reclaim for Michigan State momentarily. Timer in the middle. Evans able to slither loose from a few Badgers, including Lavelle. Well, the Big Ten Digital Network is now BTN Plus, available on BTN to go. Subscribe to BTN Plus and gain access to hundreds of non-televised games. Then enjoy them on more platforms wherever you are. Get BTN Plus now, available on BTN to go. Cool little turn on the ball. Evans. Cheslick losing to McKenna Moyer.
Wisconsin has to be careful about not having too many unforced errors in passing. You really cannot afford to turn that ball over in your midfield with a team like Michigan State that's so great on the counterattack.
There's been a lot of chances in this game, but they've kind of gone quiet ever since the goal from Jamie Cheslick in the 57th minute. Sense more opportunities ahead. Rose Lavelle. Laufenberg. Wester in pursuit. Michigan State, they had a chance to turn it out of trouble. Laufenberg down the left side again. Gets by Paige Wester. Now she has room. Little closer look. Little feint by Kinley McNichol. Moyer on the grass for Harrison. Rose Lavelle, she's got quite the personality too, and head coach Paula Wilkins saying it's a pretty cool thing when such a talented, dominant player like Rose Lavelle is oftentimes the ringleader, and as a freshman and now a sophomore that is causing your team to laugh and loosen them up.
It's great when your best player has that social influence in such a positive way, and I got to tell you, I really, really believe that she's going to be on the national team coming up at some point in the future. I think she's going to get a peek in years to come. She's so talented, such a dangerous weapon on the under-20s. I think she's a really bright future in this game.
She's got a great relationship, she says, with her 2-year-old English bulldog, Wilma. They've got a lot in common. Wilma actually will get in the backyard, and Wilma's a great defender because Wilma doesn't fall for the tricks, just keeps the eye on the ball. Wisconsin, they had 9 shots in the first half, just 2 here in the second so far with 18 minutes of soccer left to play. Well anticipated by the Badgers to begin the attack.
And this is where I'd like to see them go quickly before Michigan State can get compact and organized defensively.
Cody Williams going to ground. Been a long afternoon for number 22 in red. It's Rose Lavelle and the Badgers getting set for a free kick here in the 17th minute. Look at her options congregating in the penalty area.
Look at Cody Williams wide open right in the box there.
She's number 22 to the nearest to the keeper. The goal scorer, Becca Harrison, a breather here with just over 17 minutes to go. The sophomore, Rose Lavelle, drops a nice ball in. Second try off of Moyer's foot and wide.
And so often what becomes so dangerous is not that first ball served into the box, but that one that comes back in after it's been headed or deflected or cleared away.
What's the mindset as a defender? What's your responsibility as soon as there's a second ball out there?
Well, when the ball's getting served into the box, you're thinking, get to the ball and get it out. And then you're tracking that ball and you're trying to get as close as you possibly can, because even if you can't quite get there, hopefully you'll be able to block a shot or get a deflection somehow.
Heavy first touch by Lavelle allows Michigan State to reclaim. Jonah can't make the connection out of the back. Paige Wester hanging around, keeping that back line for Wisconsin honest. East Lansing, Michigan to Martin Stadium. Things started off well for Wisconsin. The goal from Becca Harrison in the opening half, but answering the 57th minute. Not an unlikely source of offense for Michigan State. Jamie Cheslick with the equalizer. Wearing the white shirts on their home field, the Spartans. Caruso. A little too much venom behind that.
And this is exactly what Michigan State wants to do. Every single time they get the ball, they're looking to see if they can't play that ball in behind over the back of the defense of Wisconsin. And we know that. Wisconsin knows that. I am sure Coach Paula Wilkins knows that, but it's still so difficult to stop time and time again over the course of 90 minutes.
That's been their recipe for success. Laufenberg leaves the match for Wisconsin. Paige Wester, she's open. Nice recovery there, though, by Brianna Stelzer. So Kresge back in for Wisconsin. She got the big start this afternoon in place of Cara Walls. So that's the question. Is Wisconsin on the road without Walls? Do they have enough of the offense to steal a big win this afternoon and maintain their perfect record and improve to 7-0? The unbeaten Spartans trying to do the same.
And Wisconsin certainly has the personalities and the flair to be able to do that. But Cara Walls is somebody who provides them with just an added layer of dimension. And those front three, Lavelle, Williams, and Walls, have played so well together and combined so effectively.
Because if nothing is settled in the next 13 minutes, you see some extra soccer in Michigan. There's Lavelle. Always lurking, but brushed away by Michigan State. Rachel Van Poppelen, the redshirt junior, down to the surface for a moment. Space opening up. Van Poppelen. Handled carefully by Genevieve Richard as she's quietly been a great performer this afternoon for Wisconsin. Both teams being so careful here late in the second half.
Neither team wants to make a silly mistake and give it away. And really, we've seen quite a few unforced errors or errant passes that the opposition has been able to take advantage of and then create an opportunity from.
McNichol. Her room quickly closed down by Michigan State. Goes out for a little wander wide. And perhaps forcing that pass a little bit. Michigan State, Paige Wester. Wanting to bring it over the top, but Alexander Heller is there for Wisconsin. Nothing settled here. During the 90 minutes, 2 10-minute overtimes will be on the docket next. Well, Sunday is another doubleheader of soccer. First, Northwestern takes on Ohio State in men's soccer, and then it's Purdue and Ohio State in a women's matchup. Coverage starts at 1 Eastern Sunday on BTN. BTN to go. It's going to be fun to watch Lori Walker's Ohio State Buckeyes because they've been real good this year, and at times they've had a few duds this year too. A little inconsistent. And this time of the year too, all teams having to play with a little fatigue on Sunday after Friday night games, go right back at it on a Sunday.
This is the time of the year where it can be a little bit of a grind, but what's great about it is that you've got young players, bench players who've got to step up as well.
Michigan State, dangerous chance, little spillage from Richard. McCurchie in there with the late jab, looking for it. the match has taken a more serious tone here now, with under 10 minutes to go. Lavelle brushed over for Kinley McNichol. Stelzer challenged. Out to support and keep this attack alive, Genevieve Richard. McKenna Moyer. Look at Lavelle bring that down with ease. Now looking for space, taking the ambitious try off the left foot. So we look at that chance one more time for Michigan State.
Well, here we see again, Michigan State taking advantage of a turnover, getting forward quickly. And Genevieve Richard, she should have held on to that. Lucky for Wisconsin that McCurchie wasn't just a hair closer.
More space now for Rose Lavelle in Wisconsin. Lavelle on the dribble. Little closer again, rising over the bar.
She's getting close, and she sees that there's a little bit of space that she can create for herself. This is the second shot she's taken from distance, and she doesn't need a lot. She just needs the width of that ball. She gets her head down, she gets that on target. It's a dangerous opportunity for the Badgers.
Wouldn't you say she's got a good swerve to her game? Tough to figure out if you're a defender which way she's going to go.
Absolutely.
So a few more shots this afternoon for Wisconsin. All level at 1 inside the final 8 minutes. Saw Paula Wilkins sitting earlier. She's back on her feet here for the tense moments. Extra soccer and overtime could be on the way if the scoreline holds. The composed Caruso. Here's Allison Krause. Caruso again navigates, finding Krause. Switching things, a little more room now in the middle. It's Kylie Schwartz beginning the counter for Wisconsin. Backpedaling. Now on the dribble, Cody Williams. Williams still churning forward. A lot of white shirts in front of her, not a lot of options.
And Wisconsin needs to continue to fight that fatigue, work to continue to move for each other. That movement's going to help break down the defense of Michigan State and create little passing channels and opportunities and maybe get a shot on goal from it.
The goal scorer for Wisconsin, Becca Harrison, back on the field. Williams thought she was fouled, trying to demonstrate that to the official. Some late possession here by Wisconsin. That's the type of pass that you can remember in a bad way if somebody comes back and counters and wins the game, but it ends happily for Wisconsin. A lot of room for Williams. Just in front of Rose Lavelle, and it allows Michigan State to clear it.
And this game is certainly starting to get a little bit stretched out, and there's more area for the midfielders of both sides to be able to play and look for that final pass to their forwards.
You can almost feel a Wisconsin goal coming, or at least a good chance. Taylor over Lavelle. Courtney Clem quickly off the line to gather it in. Just over 5 minutes to go. Jonai the searching ball. Had visions of the freshman Cheslick, but instead away off the foot of Stelzer.
For the Spartans, number 23.
So McCurchie, she almost had that chance if there was any spillage from Genevieve Richard. About 10 minutes to go. She comes off. Venturing forward is Jonai. It's Michigan State just not making that connection in the final third, that final pass.
For Michigan State, they certainly have been pretty effective creating opportunities off of the counterattack. I think that's where they've had their most success. That's where they need to continue to focus. Wisconsin, on the other hand, they've had a lot of possession. I'd like to see them continue to speed up the play just a little bit and fight the fatigue by moving off the ball so they can get more numbers surrounding the individual who has the ball.
The always dangerous Kinley McNichol. Rose Lavelle and her pace, able to save that pass. As Lavelle trying to be the creator. Williams is rising up for it, can't get to it. It's around Williams again. Second ball, Kraus had the chance to knock it away. Recaptured by Wisconsin. Cody Williams, just out of her range.
And that's better movement in general by Wisconsin. Rose Lavelle making that run toward the end line out of midfield. Cody Williams making this run out wide. That's good movement, creating chances and opportunities in attack.
She hasn't been as active in this second half, but you're starting to notice number 22 a lot more in red. Cody Williams for Wisconsin. Side foots it to Lavelle, on to Kinley McNichol. Becca Harrison, number 21. There's Williams trying to somehow maneuver it in front. Trying to keep things clean and safe, both sides. Here with under 2 minutes to go. A potential 2-minute, or rather two 10-minute overtimes upcoming with the golden goal. Good extension by Cheslick. Hunting for it again is a lot of Badgers around her. Cheslick scored the lone goal for Michigan State on that quick first touch from the freshman. Williams bullied off the ball. Evans and Michigan State going forward. And look at the determination from Williams. She gets bullied off the ball and comes right back and does the same to Michigan State. And drawing some more contact. The emotion swelling here in the dying seconds of regulation.
I think that was a back and forth kind of situation. And Cody Williams is the first one to push, but I gotta tell you, every single time, it's the second foul that the referee sees. And what he sees is Allison Krause taking that retaliation, and that's absolutely a yellow card.
The leg came up a little bit too. Two competitors. Heller brings it back in. 38 seconds left. Dangerous pass. Here comes Kraus. Option wide. 30 seconds to go and just running out of room down the near side. But for Wisconsin, those are the type of malfunctions that you don't want to see happen here in the final seconds.
And those are the moments that they're going to have to continue to improve throughout conference play.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Should it really be a surprise that two 6-0 teams, Wisconsin and Michigan State, unbeaten, entering this match, can't settle anything during 90 minutes?
Well, they've both definitely had their styles. Wisconsin's been able to possess it, but you got to give credit to Michigan State for being resilient, taking advantage of the counterattacking opportunities in the second half.
Becca Harrison got Wisconsin on the board in the first, but in the second half, the freshman Jamie Cheslick sent this to extra soccer. Well, conference play just got underway yesterday in the Big Ten Women's Soccer Conference. Had an overtime match yesterday in Lincoln, Nebraska. We're going to do it again this afternoon in East Lansing, Michigan, and this is how we got here. It was a freshman rising up in the opening half for Wisconsin.
Well, we've seen a few unforced errors on both sides of the ball, and Wisconsin takes advantage. Rose Lavelle earns the ball back, and look at this. McNichol finding number 22, Cody Williams, out wide, but look at her movement. She's the one who played it, and then she continues to make that run forward, and she ends up getting this assist by putting a well-placed ball on the ground to number 21, Harrison, right at the spot.
Then Jonai creating good things out of the back.
Well, look at that fantastic ball. What a quick counterattacking opportunity. And with her first touch, Cheslick puts it over the head of Genevieve Richard.
Oh, the freshman Jamie Cheslick is excited. She's got her 5th goal of the season. Rules for overtime in college soccer in the Big Ten Conference. 2 10-minute sudden victory periods. At the conclusion of periods, if still tied, the game will end in a draw. Look at past matches for Wisconsin and Michigan State this year during these crucial extra time situations. Well, even again.
They both have had some success in overtime. Kraus getting the game winner for Michigan State, and Williams getting the one for Wisconsin.
Williams, it was her against Tennessee. It was Kraus in double overtime for Michigan State over in-state rival Western Michigan, and 2 of the better players in the conference warming up here for extra soccer. Rose Lavelle on your left, Cody Williams on the right. That's the 5th-year keeper, Courtney Clem. Haven't been a lot of mistakes from the keepers this afternoon either.
They both have certainly been tested, however. We've had opportunities on both sides of the ball. And we'll see what happens in this final 20 minutes or so.
Are they going to go for it, both teams, or do you think you're going to see more of cautious play here in extra soccer?
I think you got to go for it. I mean, this is such a tight conference. There's so much parity. You can't afford to say, hey, a tie is good enough, because let me tell you, at the end of the season, every single point is going to count.
Space opening up for Rose Lavelle here in the opening seconds of overtime. Lavelle trying to get that left foot off. She does. Courtney Clem, the big stop. So just seconds in, one of the best players in the conference, Rose Lavelle, has the chance to end it.
And this is just seconds into overtime. This is a mature, confident player getting in behind, and she stays on the ball. She holds it, looking for her shot. She's so technical, she can hold on to it, and it comes so close. Great job by Courtney Clem to get down quickly.
8th corner kick this afternoon from Wisconsin. And Clem gets a piece of it, not enough. And Wisconsin, the golden goal in overtime. They're off to their first 7-0 start since 1991.
I feel like we were just settling into overtime, and look, just a minute in, Wisconsin comes up with a big shot to get the game winner.
Some happy Wisconsin Badgers.
Well, Harrison, she got the first goal for them, and look at how she is celebrating again. She's been a difference maker all day. Let's take a look here. Great corner kick service into the box. Wisconsin is on top of their game, and it bounces all the way to the far post. Harrison, the freshman, stepping up big, puts it back, sneaks it into the near post past Courtney Clem, while Cody Williams is there just distracting Clem from being able to get her hands on it cleanly.
Oh, the left foot is lethal. It looked like Clem was going to stop it, and she almost did.
And such a disappointment for Michigan State. Look, they've got number 23 timer right on the post, and it just sneaks past her hip. Fantastic way to start just a minute into overtime if you're a Wisconsin Badger.
Oh, can you believe it? The freshman, pure silk performance of the match. Of course, it's got to go to Becca Harrison. 2 goals today, including the golden goal to secure the deal in overtime. What an afternoon to remember for Wisconsin, as we mentioned.